Hey, what's going on? It's Jeremy coming back with another video. Give me one sec. I just realized. There we go. Why I don't hear myself. I have my phone jack plugged in my other PC, so now I could actually hear myself. Know that it's recording. Okay, so really quick. Just wanted to do a quick impromptu. Had my monthly with basically my coach mentor from Samuel and Co. Trading today, so that went well. It's supposed to be about 20 minutes. We probably went maybe about 15 max. So everything's good. Up in the account about a half a percent, nothing crazy. So what I think I want to try to start doing is maybe doing a little bit of I don't want to do life in a day, but essentially kind of journal and record this journey because the the process with Samuel and Co. is I'm in basically what's called the junior trading junior traders program, and what that allows you to do is basically take a $25,000 live funded account and scale it up to about 1 million, I believe. So it's every you make basically 4%. You're able to scale up, and because it's a funded account, and as I've grown over the years, I don't necessarily risk 1% to make 3%. Like I don't risk that way. I think I've explained on this channel. I basically risk like a quarter of 1/4 of 1% per trade. Every now and again, I'll risk half of 1%, but overall, that I'm pretty conservative when it comes to that, and a lot of it is just maintaining and protecting the capital, and then at the same time applying obviously a fair amount of strict risk management with even those lower percentiles of a percentage when it comes to a move. So I'll probably still do. I wouldn't necessarily call them outlook or analysis videos. I still kind of want to do that. I think it helps because for me, and I know that there's been there are trends, right? There's some people that are out there that will they'll make content. I'm pulling this off my ear because I don't like I can hear myself, but I don't. I want to hear, right? So there are a lot of people in this space that will make content, make videos, semi flashy lifestyles. The only thing I have back here is like a green screen that's covering the window. But I'll just say at the outset, don't come from a background with a silver spoon in my mouth. Parents were I would say I grew up middle, basically like middle class, and then after father passed, that threshold from middle kind of went down, and then as the middle class deteriorated, ended up on the swing. So I like to look at my life, and I describe it literally as it would be described in trading. There was an equity curve in my life that allowed for the pullback before the motive, right? The extreme correction or the corrective short before bullish momentum, or the corrective to the upside, if you will. So I think that's a good play on trade terminology for you. But having said that, as with, again, continuing with the wordplay, as there is with a lot of traders and people in general in this space, there seems to be a lot of the flip 100 to 1,000, or 1,000 to 10 or 20K. Like I'm not really interested in doing that type of thing. Slow and steady, like I said, I don't come from a well-to-do, but the mindset is abundant, and what I am looking to accomplish, and what I would like to maybe inspire others that are in the same position. Maybe your pockets are not extremely deep, don't have like a vast amount of resources to get started, but hopefully I can give somebody some level of value. Also give somebody some level of I don't want to say hope, but I would say just the level of renewed commitment that it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter what you have. You could start with what you have. I'm a firm believer in that. I actually, to illustrate and drill that point down, I have an Awanda account, an ECN, an MT4. Put a few dollars in, and sometimes just to see, what the market brings, what it bears, what it doesn't. Certain trade ideas, I will say, inspiration within this video, and I'll probably link in the description box below. Not any kind of an affiliate link, but if you're not familiar with Awanda, there is a zero minimum amount required to deposit in the account. Just go get yourself an Awanda account if you want a live trading account. You can also go to Awanda and get a free demo account. Doesn't cost anything. The live, you could put $5 in. I put like $10, and then I split 5 and 5 between the ECN account and the MT4 account. And I literally trade them just like I trade my funded accounts. Again, a lot of times it's something that will allow you the pleasure of trading in a live market, getting an understanding and a feel for, you're not going to take that $5 and make it, 100 overnight or over a week or whatever. It just depends. Again, I take that back. It depends on your commitment and your understanding within the market. If you're scalping back and forth, is it possible in a week? Listen, you got to be hella dedicated and taking a ridiculous amount of scalps in a week. I know there's somebody out there that could. I'm just not, like, I have patience, but I don't know that I have that level of patience. And there's a certain amount of discipline that goes with that too. So, but the point is, you can get in with, little or nothing. You can test and trade in a live market to understand, what happens when stops hit, a small enough account where you understand what the margin and the margin requirements are. When you take a position, what that takes off your balance. So little things like that sometimes a demo account doesn't give you. It doesn't give you a real live, hey, if I put $5 in and I take a 20 unit or a 300 unit position, oh wait, Owanda won't open it. It's a 1 to 50 leverage for Owanda, but I think it's a good test and a good starting place if somebody's looking to get in. But that's a little bit of a segue. But the crux of this is basically to I don't know, like I said, to follow this journey. At some point, because we're family here, so at some point we're gonna take a trip. We're gonna go to the UK, meet up with Samuel and Co. and Atish, and maybe, who knows, might luck up and catch Sam there and a couple of other traders, just to get a true feel. Because, as I've said before, this is kind of it's a lone wolf kind of process. Because at the end of the day, you could be surrounded by other like-minded traders, but when it's time to kind of punch in, if you will, and lock in, it's you and the market. It's you, your psychology, your understanding, your biases, your trade plan, your risk management, and you and the market. And then that's it. So I think it's important that some people have a little bit of a different perspective of YouTube content, of online content, that actually tells you that, you can start from little or nothing. And as long as you're learning, properly, there's nothing that you can't do when you dedicate yourself, and then you just commit. And I know it sounds kind of redundant. You're like, man, you keep saying it, because it's true. And once you get into redundancy and nuance, you'll do the same thing. You'll learn that overall, trading can be very rewarding. But I'm going to tell you something a lot of people don't. It's extremely boring. It gets boring. If, how can I describe it? I'm excited every day to come home, turn my computers on, look at what markups I have, look and see what price is done in certain markets, see, what opportunities may exist, see where I can take positions. But at the end of the day, because I'm utilizing one system, one set system, and that's it, then there's not a whole lot that's going to change. And as with most, if you keep doing the same thing, repetition after a while, it's not complacency, but repetition basically means there's no emotion in it. There's nothing else that you're going to pull from it. It's kind of it's its own thing, right? So once you lock into that and you're consistently doing it day in, day out, day in, day out, there are days and times where you will come, you'll analyze, and there's nothing to do because whatever the market's doing doesn't fit your criteria, right? Like right now, I'll give you a perfect example, and this is one of the reasons why I have the DAX, the German 40. It does say German 30, but they added 10 more core companies within the country of Germany, which is technically now it's the German 40, but call it the DAX, right? So I have absolutely nothing to do. This market is short. I'm in a paper trade account on this. I did take a couple of live trades on German 30, but it actually, I'll scroll back over here so you can actually see. I was I was fortunate. I'm not gonna lie. I know this looks like it's chart porn, but that is where my stop was. And if you could see, I did get this. It wasn't a 12 RR. I know that says 12.02. I did not gain 12 RR on this. I actually took a portion off here before price actually ran. So in actuality, I probably made like maybe 4% on this trade overall because I partialed I want to say three times I partialed down. So again, did not make 12 RR. Make that perfectly clear. I probably cleared about 4 because I partialed at different junctures. But as you can see, you might say, okay, well, if it's short, why are you going long? I'm just looking again at the overall structure. And if you notice, I don't have a limit or anything out here. I'm literally doing what is now a common expression. I'm sitting on my hands. There's nothing for me to do. There's nothing else for me to do because my bias is still playing out. And I'm looking for price to get all the way back down to 11.8, right? I think this is going to be a little bit of a pit stop just based on my structural bias, but I'm also looking to see if price returns back into this area to continue to mitigate a little bit higher before it continues to fall. So again, just to double back to circle that wagon again, there's nothing for me to do here. So I can look at other markets, which is fine, or I could continue to look at the 15. I can go down to the 5, and this is one of the things that I want to just be practical and speak to all of the newer traders. I don't want to say beginners, but and maybe it would be good for beginners as well. You should not always feel like because you show up to analyze, you should show up to find and invent a position or invent a bias within your bias to trade. Sometimes it's good just to show up to analyze, and if you're already in a position, I could literally sit here in a paper trade and go, oh, okay, well, that's going to mitigate back in. I can jump in one of my other accounts and take the long. Well, again, I know the overall bias is what? It's short. If the context is here, maybe, but probably not. I'm comfortable enough with what I've extracted from the market to wait until it either reaches a new high or it clears another high, and then it continues to mitigate to where maybe I would say, okay, I've taken a short, and I benefited from basically about 4 4% already. Let me see if I can find another entry point to take this short back to this, another new previous low set. Let's see, right? But the point is, don't feel like you have to funnel yourself into a trade just to say, I showed up today and I have to trade. A lot of times, those are the types of situations. If you do that once a day for a week, that could be the difference between you staying out, finding a proper and a higher probability setup to take, which might earn you whatever it is 2%, and that might be the difference in you showing up 5 days a week, forcing a sub bias that does not exist based on what you think you see, just because you've already put yourself in a mindset that I have to trade something, and potentially that could lose you the equivalent. Let's just say if it's a 0.5%, that could essentially lose you over 5 days 2.5%. If you're risking half, one half of 1%, it could lose you twice as much as you could possibly gain if you just stay out, right? And just allow the market to show you. Then you can do another proper analysis. You could set a limit and you could walk away. You could set an alert and you could walk away. Or if you just have to be at the market, like I say, open yourself a paper trade account and have at it. But at least in a paper trade, again, stick to whatever that plan and whatever that rule is if the context is right. And then it'll also help you in some cases, not all, but in some cases, understand when you're looking at potential mitigation back into a previous area, in this case of supply, there may be the context under which you might consider taking a position. But again, when you look at the overall, you might say, yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks like that would be a high probability, but the overall is still X, and I'm looking for context that says Y. Maybe I'll just stick with X. Maybe let's just stay with X, and maybe I go and analyze another market that might actually show you something. Or you just stay out until the proper setups that could avail themselves exist for price to deliver to X, right? So just something to think about. But again, let me know what you guys think. Put your comments down in the description box or in the comments below. I will actually put a couple of links for Owanda for you in the description, so you can go check them out. Like I said, there's no commission or anything off of it. I don't make anything. There's no referral, no nothing. It's just my way of just kind of getting you maybe fast tracked into it. And even if you don't want to click on the links that I provide, just Google search Owanda, OANDA, and you can go directly to the site and create your own accounts. All right. So till next time, I'll see you guys. Thanks for stopping.